It's time for Kansas City to go on the clock. Sponsored by Price Chopper. Right now on KSHB 41.
Welcome to our final KC on the Clock special, a historic weekend now in the books for the Metro. This after hundreds of thousands of fans converged on the NFL draft at Union Station. During this entire event, we've been there. From the moment we learned KC would host, then the setup and transformation of Union Station to the final pick on Saturday afternoon. So I want to show you all the key moments from all of it. We hope you enjoy.
When you come to the Sports Commission, the city, visit KC years ago and say, I want to try to get the draft here, what was the reaction initially?
Well, I mean, you know, anything football, anything NFL goes very well in our city. So when you have the support of the Chiefs and you have the support of, back then it was Sly James as our mayor and our city manager, Troy Schulte, and of course now the mayor and city manager, and everyone's all in. I don't think anyone thought I was crazy, and if they did, they didn't say anything.
I have been talking to you about the draft for years.
Yes.
And it's here.
I know. I know. I look out my window, I see the tents going up on the south lawn, and think about that time that we were in Nashville and you stopped me on the sidewalk.
Dia Wall here in Nashville with Kathy Nelson, CEO of the Kansas City Sports Commission. A few weeks later,
I also want to congratulate and thank Kathy Nelson, the Kansas City Sports Commission.
KC was announced as the host city for the 2023 NFL Draft.
From the day we had the conversation about bringing the draft to Kansas City, you said it's going to be right there in front of Union Station. Why? I mean, is Kansas City kind of an anomaly in that way? Why was the site such a lock? And has everything pretty much gone according to plan?
No. That's all I'll say on number two. Whenever the NFL came to town with dozens of people and we walked the site, I think they understood the iconic signature it would give for the draft.
Have you been pleased with the reception from folks around Kansas City and their willingness to just jump in and be part of it?
That was never a concern or a doubt for us. We know how Kansas City shows up. So the Teammates program is the paid volunteer program. And we knew we probably needed about 2,000 teammates. And we opened it up and had 7,000 people sign up and had to stop sign-ups. And the NFL was like, well, that's a first for us. We've never had a city show up like that. Then in March, we released the times, the actual work shifts, and those filled up within minutes. And they said, you know, the NFL said, oh, it'll take a week or 2 weeks to get those filled. I think we filled them in 17 minutes. So pretty proud, you know, proud of our community for sure.
You see Roger Goodell come out, and it all starts. And he says the iconic words, the NFL draft is now open. What do you really think that moment's going to be like for you?
You know, it's funny. I've had family and friends ask me that question. I don't know. I get a little emotional thinking that all of this work is going to pay off. All the difficult conversations we're having right now, all the negotiating on closed roads and fees and parking prices, all of that will come to fruition and it will be okay. And Thursday at 7 o'clock, we're all there to celebrate Kansas City and to celebrate football and to celebrate those draft prospects. I'm sure I'll be a little teared up.
Kansas City, also home of the Super Bowl champion Chiefs.
Yes.
How wild is it?
So wild. So wild to think that our team won the Super Bowl in the year that we're having and hosting the draft.
I know you may not have known exactly what the stage would look like or how big the footprint would be, but you saw this before anybody else. Are you at least this much proud?
Oh, much, much more than that. And it's not just proud, boastful proud by any means, but just so proud that everyone's like, we've got this, we can do this.
What is your message for folks here in Kansas City, in this community, about this big event that has taken years and all those hours of work?
I would tell you, for people that are just now enjoying it or starting to even be aware that it's happening, and you see the signage and the decor, just know that it took you as a citizen to be proud of Kansas City, to really boast about that, to help us pull this off.
We're at one of the ADA entrances, which is much further away from the main entrances, but a lot closer to the action. But it takes a lot more than just a closer entryway to make this the most accessible NFL draft experience ever. Front and center this NFL draft is accessibility.
The special needs community represents 26% of our population. It's a single largest minority, and a lot of times they're usually on the sideline and not included in activities because we live in a world full of barriers.
Jesus Cardozo-Uribe helped represent that community today as the first person down the red carpet. He says big events like this can be a challenge.
We're all human at the end of the day, but you know, you do get that, doubt where you're like, man, I can't do this because I have limits.
ADA transport and parking, sensory rooms and stimulus kits, accessible restrooms, and lots of help curb that doubt.
I was able to be dropped off by my family at the employee gate. At the end of the walk, they had a golf cart that I could get in and take me up the hill. And then when I got to the top of the hill, they had wheelchairs.
Less worrying about barriers means more focusing on being a fan.
It's just the new normal. People with disabilities belong in everything that we do.
You have no limits. Whether you're, mentally or physically disabled, nothing can affect you and, nothing can stop you. This event itself, it shows that kids with disabilities are making progress.
In Kansas City, Grant Stevens, KSHB 41 News.
You guys are never going to believe where we are on top of the Chiefs Super Bowl bus. Take a look at that view overlooking thousands and thousands of fans. Today's theme is making dreams come true. From the players to showing off our city's hard work to the fans experiencing something like never before. It's a day to remember. As the clock ran down,
Almost.
thousands were kicking it at the NFL draft experience in Kansas City.
I'm having a wonderful time. I'm from Maryland, D.C. area. I flew down with my wife and my little daughter right here.
It's the spot to show fanatic fandom for your team.
We're here to hopefully see the Bears get future defensive linemen. Well, we are. Who are you here to see?
And a place where the crowd goes wild, even when you miss, or when your kicks become the kick.
Oh, yeah! What happened? Oh, my God.
I thought I was going to hit someone.
It looks easy, but I think when you get up there, it'll be more difficult.
Has it been a good day, guys? Yeah! It's been a great day.
Just a massive humanity, but everybody's been really cool. Like, even with the different rivalries and everything, everybody's getting along really well.
Midwest nice.
Whether you ran full speed ahead or took a victory lap through the smoke tunnel, thousands united on one lawn to watch history.
We know we're taking a quarterback, but I'm super interested to see who it is. So, of all the drafts I could have attended, aside from maybe an Andrew Luck or a Peyton Manning draft, this is a good one to be at.
Even though there were long lines and huge crowds, everyone was positive, and many are ready to come back and do it all again. In Kansas City, I'm Megan Avundis, KSHB 41 News.
Football fans are finally here, Kansas City, and just a quick walk away from where the names of future NFL legends will be called. Latino-owned businesses like Café Corazon are throwing a fiesta during the draft.
It's really fun, and we're really excited to welcome people here and just have a good time. Have a fiesta.
In Kansas City, it's no secret the West Side neighborhood is deeply rooted in Hispanic culture, with murals, tiendas, panaderias proudly showcasing their Latin pride and passion for American football.
Latinos love soccer, but we also love football too. It's the American soccer.
And the NFL is taking notice with Mundo NFL, the official Spanish language cross-platform branch of the NFL, cultivating content for its 32 million Latino fans.
We are Giants, baby.
We are the #1 sports league for Latinos, which is incredible. And a lot of those fans are super young. 53% are under the age of 35.
John Fierro with the Mattie Road Center in KC says there's power in companies like the NFL catering to Latinos.
It's our time, and the NFL and all these national establishments need to embrace us. It's not a fad, it's not a trend. We're here to stay.
And the NFL Draft 2023 will showcase the strength of the Latino voice.
The Latino audience is definitely the fastest growing and the one that we definitely wanted to focus on and make sure that we have the most representation and the most offerings to cater towards.
We'll be right back with more. You know, the main purpose of the draft for teams to pick players for the next season. So let's look back at who the Chiefs selected this weekend.
We are back live here. It's time for a deep dive into the Chiefs draft this season. First things first, let's go over all the picks. Get you up to date, right? First round, Kansas State defensive end, local kid Felix Enudike Uzama. Second round, SMU receiver Rashee Rice. And the third round, Oklahoma tackle Wanye Morris. Then today in the fourth round, Chiefs getting more defense. Safety Shamari Connor from Virginia Tech. Fifth round, Stephen F. Austin linebacker BJ Thompson. In the sixth, tackle from Texas, Keandre Coburn. And in the seventh round, quarterback Nick Jones from Ball State. Want to bring in Pete Sweeney of Arrowhead Pride. Now, Pete, it's done. We're all wrapped up for 2023 for the Chiefs. We haven't talked with you since before the second and third rounds yesterday, so I'll start off here. Was there a theme maybe between night one and night two?
For me, Mick, it was needs, and more needs. When we were talking about this draft this week right here on KSHB 41, we said that the Chiefs would need a wide receiver, they needed a tackle, they needed an edge player, and they addressed those three positions. You saw the edge on night one, the local flavor, and then you saw them go and get the wide receiver and the tackle on day two. And the cool thing, I think, about Felix is he pencils in right across from George Karlaftis, a really nice young defensive end core that you're building, and I think Brett Veach likes that.
All right, looking at night two here, the Chiefs picking up a wide receiver, Rashee Rice from SMU. What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I think it is a receiver that is added to the room that isn't really what Kadarius Toney or a Sky Moore offers. Now that Mecole Hardman is with the New York Jets, I think you're going to see Sky Moore in the backfield doing some of that pre-motion stuff. But when you get to Rice, it's this 6'1" wide receiver who can go up and get the ball. Contested catches is his game. Yards after the catch is his game. He had 6 yards after the catch per catch, over 500 yards after the catch at his college. And when you talk about Rice, you got to think about versatility. Comfortable playing inside and outside, and he talked about that the other night.
Honestly, I would say anywhere, there's a mismatch. I feel like I can play outside or inside. So wherever coach feels like I need to be on the field to make a play, now I'm there. It doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah, as you can see, more than 3,000 receiving yards, the 25 touchdowns, 233 receptions. If you're looking for issues and you're nitpicking about Rice, he has had some drops in his career, but the Chiefs, I think, will look to shore those up, and he's already through with Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs kept that pretty secret. They let you know about the other receivers, but no one knew about Rice, and he ends up in Kansas City.
Finally here, Pete, in the third round, we saw Chiefs take Oklahoma tackle Wanye Morris. What stands out about him, aside from him being named after a Boyz II Men singer, as he has come to the end of the road of his college career?
Yeah, that's a big part of it, right? A really cool nickname, but he also has a history with Trey Smith, who's the starting right guard for the Kansas City Chiefs. They actually played together during his days in Tennessee. I know that he transferred to Oklahoma, but during his days in Tennessee, he played with Trey Smith. He was on the left side. He was the left tackle while Trey Smith was the left guard. So I think they're going to try to get this thing going in Kansas City on the right side. I expect him to compete on day one for that starting right tackle position. The Chiefs have Lucas Niang, they have Darian Kennard, but I think it's going to be up for grabs, and why not have the rookie take that starting spot?
Yeah, it shouldn't be hard for him to say goodbye to Oklahoma. Back here on a KC On the Clock special, I'm Mick Schaefer. We just recapped the day one and day two picks by the Kansas City Chiefs. Want to get back to Pete Sweeney now. Pete, let's recap today's picks. What is your general thought or feeling on the selections the Chiefs made on Saturday?
Well, I think after night two, what the Chiefs started to focus on was the upside of these players. On day three, you're looking for traits and guys that you think you can develop, and it started in the fourth round with Virginia Tech defensive back Shamari Connor. And the thing that stands out about him is he is this hybrid safety cornerback. They call those tweeners, and the Chiefs really like the upside here. The fact that he could play nickel cornerback. That's when there's 3 cornerbacks on the field, 5 defensive backs in total, and they feel like he could compete for that spot. And don't forget, L'Jarius Sneed, who's been good at that, will be a free agent after this season. In the fifth round, they took Stephen F. Austin edge rusher B.J. Thompson, and to me, this is a guy that is going to, at the beginning of his career, be a speed rusher. Think D. Ford, hopefully not with the offsides part of it, right? And then he's going to be trying to add to his repertoire and add weight as he goes along. The Chiefs really like development that he could potentially have. In the 6th round, it was Texas defensive tackle Keandre Coburn, and this is a big body. Remember when the Chiefs were getting ready for the Eagles in the Super Bowl and Jalen Hurts was doing that annoying thing where the offensive line gets behind him and they pushed him over the line? Well, this guy, if he can be a starter, be a contributor in the middle of the Chiefs' defensive line, will stop those type of things. It's become a trend in the NFL. And then finally, in round 7, it's cornerback Nick Jones, and that's out of Ball State, another developmental guy. Really good at the line, is going to jam those receivers, the physicality that Steve Spagnuolo likes.
All right, Pete, what is your favorite pick of the draft? Any round for the Chiefs here? Where are you going to go?
Yeah, I think it was Coburn because the Chiefs said goodbye to Colin Saunders. He's kind of an exact fit, and the scouts confirmed it today. So Coburn would be my favorite pick if I was making one.
Now we'll get a bit negative here. What was your least favorite pick of the draft for Kansas City?
Well, I like the class, so it's nitpicking here, but it's the edge rusher Thompson. I just think it's not the prototypical Steve Spagnuolo, a guy that's going to be an edge rusher, about 10 pounds too light, probably more of a 2024 contributor for me. They'll continue to work on him with his hand fighting and some of his pass rush moves. And I think by the time next year rolls around, it might be an impact player. But in the meantime, got to get some contributions from those veterans.
Pete, good stuff. We appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by, not just on Saturday, but all week long here in our draft coverage.
Stick around. More to come on our KC on the Clock special. Welcome back. As we mentioned before, we wanted to bring you the best moments. So we talked about the setup for the draft. Now we want to talk about some of the local players who heard their names called this weekend.
All the action happening on the big stage behind me last night. And this seems like it all comes out of a movie from Hollywood. A local guy gets selected to play in the NFL, and that team right here in his hometown.
Felix Anduke-Uzomah has always been a member of Chiefs Kingdom.
I remember me and my friends just went up to the training camp just to go watch Kelsey and the Chiefs literally just play. And it's coming full circle, which is crazy. And
the circle was completed Thursday night when the Chiefs selected the K-State defensive lineman in the first round.
I had a dream of this like 4 times in my lifetime.
Now it's a reality. Longtime friend and former teammate Tyler Terrence was there when Felix got the call.
As soon as the camera turned off, all the emotions poured out of him and everybody else. So.
Behind the emotions are years overcoming obstacles. Eric Thomas was a witness. He was Felix's head coach at Lee Summit and saw the transformation on this field.
Very well could have quit as a freshman in high school. I mean, no one thought he was very good, hadn't grown very much, those types of things, and just stayed the course, persevered, became a 2-time All-State football player for us.
Success that continued at K-State. Beyond the big plays, I asked Thomas what else the Chiefs can expect.
Tenacious. I think the biggest thing that we've always been able to talk to our kids about when they watch Felix here is the effort that he plays with.
While the Chiefs look to benefit from the tenacity, these kids are learning a lesson on what it can produce. For Tyler, it's a reward he's happy to see his friend earn.
He's been proving people wrong his whole life, and he's been exceeding expectations everywhere he goes. So.
Felix isn't the only NFL player coming out of Lee Summit. Of course, there's also Drew Lock, and Lee Summit's head football coach tells me there's some talent right now that we should possibly keep an eye on for the future. In Kansas City, I'm Bryant Medrick, KSHB 41 News.
One of our own is heading to the pros, and we have been waiting at the edge of our seat every single day of this year's draft, waiting to see which team would be lucky enough to have him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Life changed with a phone call and a new cap.
How does it fit? Fits great. I'm so happy to be wearing it. So excited for the opportunity. I'll take full advantage.
Adetomiwa Adebare is North Kansas City's newest pro player. Soon, he'll be representing the community wearing an Indianapolis Colts jersey.
Oh, let's go.
How many words did they get out before you realized this is it?
Oh, probably this third word. She said, "This is the Colts." I said, "Yes, yes, thank God."
Adebare went to North KC High School before becoming Northwestern's number 99.
I was so excited, and I thank God for everything.
I don't think mom and dad could be prouder.
It was a great moment. It was a great moment. Yeah. If I begin to talk about him, we will talk about him from now to the end of the world.
This is what he's been working his whole life for, something so few athletes can say they've done. He's ready to get to work, but tonight it's time to celebrate.
I just really enjoy the moment because, this only happens once.
In KCK, Grant Stevens, KSHB 41 News.
Also in town this weekend, key figures in the NFL. Dia Wall sat down for an exclusive interview with the executive director of the NFL Players Union to talk about how the NFLPA works with rookies before and after the draft.
The NFL draft is coming to Kansas City. What is the significance for the players walking across the stage to have the NFLPA?
For us, we have a healthy relationship with the NFL, but they are management and we are labor. And while it is a great opportunity to dive into the hoop and the fun of what the draft is, we are there to remind every player that the union is the one that makes sure you have a pension. The union is there to make sure that we govern your work week and how much time you can spend on the field. The union is the one that makes sure that you have health care. The union credentials all of your doctors. All of those things were not gifts from the National Football League, not one. We bargain and we fight for every one of those.
When the draft is happening, where are you sitting? Who are you talking to? What are you watching?
When the draft happens, I usually go because I do like the theater of it at the beginning. After that, I have every year grabbed 2 or 3 friends and we just go to dinner somewhere. I think being a fan hurts you in this job, and I think the best way to approach this job is to not necessarily be a fan. I mean, I love football, I just happen to love our players more.
When do you engage those prospects, and what does that conversation look like?
The Monday before the draft, we start to have all of the draftees with us for 3 days, talking about what it means to be a professional, how to carry yourself in this business, making sure that they understand that, it is a great deal of fun, but this is a not for long league. Then later on, we have rookie premiere, where we'll take the top 40 rookies, and we will have them for almost a week. We introduce them to our business, the NFL Players Inc. So we're walking into a league where our minimum salary is going to be $800,000. That's our minimum. Our mean is $2.5 million. If our men treat this opportunity in the right way, it's transformational, not just for them, but for their future generations.
What is it like when you show up for team meetings?
Primary role, at least the way that I see it, is to teach. Because so much of what we do, so much of the business of football, so much of what it means to be an athlete in college, it's so steeped in history. And if our players don't understand the history, they don't understand the present. Patrick, for example, was one of the youngest reps ever elected. Do I think that that is inextricably tied to the fact that his father went through the baseball strike? Yes. And walking across that stage is going to be fantastic. But what would you want for your husband, or for your son, or for your father? At the end of the day, what I would say for every player is welcome to the National Football League. Get more out of football than football gets out of you. For every fan, enjoy it and dig it and love it. But never forget, treat everybody as if they were your own family.
We'll be right back. Before we go, we want to look back at what all this is about, the fans and the people of Kansas City.
We're on a scavenger hunt here at the NFL Draft for fans of all 32 teams. Got the names written down, got my Sharpie. Let's start the clock. All right, Chiefs fan. Okay, that's an easy one. We got Cowboys right here. We got Broncos right there. Can you zoom in on the Browns fan? Any Vikings fans here? Yeah. Oh, can you do the gritty for me? Oh my goodness. 5 in like a minute. Get a shot of the Bears. We got 49ers. Dolphins are here. Atta baby. Titans. Oh, we got the Towels. We got the Steelers. Seahawks. Raiders. We got the Raiders. One more AFC West team left. Any Chargers around? Chargers right there to me now. What's Chargers? Oh, look at that. We've got the AFC West crossed off. Got the Colts there. Old school Jets. Here we go. I didn't have that yet. Cardinals and Saints. I almost wore that same thing. That would have been embarrassing. Oh, the youngest member of the Bills Mafia. Bengals fan right here?
We got a Bengals fan?
How dare you? How dare you, Kevin? That's all right. The Rams are in the house. Got the Lions testing out the draft for next year. Packers off the list. Trevor Lawrence.
your cross off Jags off my list there. Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis. Ravens. You're off right there. Oh, we got Falcons. Oh, we've been looking for you. Oh my God. It's about time. Here we are. Commanders. There he is. Are there any Eagles fans around here? Oh, what's up, fellas? Is this hat gonna fly? Eagles fly. Cross off Giants right there. Panthers super fans. There they are. Oh my gosh, we're the last three. All three together on the shark. I've never seen this. Oh! Rarely seen in the wild. Patriots fans, just kidding, they're all over the place. Only team left, the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay, Bucs fans? Any Bucs fans here?
I graduated high school in Tampa.
Can we count that?
Do we got Bucs fans? What? Are these Tampa Bay fans?
I've been waiting for you. I've been looking for fans of every team, and the Bucs were the last one. Oh, thank you so much. I gotta check the timer here. 28 minutes and 8 seconds. Of all the teams to finish on, it's the Super Bowl 55 champs. All right, Scavenger Hunt over.
Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to check out all of our KC on the Clock content, all in one place, our website, KSHB.com, or download our free KSHB 41 News mobile app. I'm Kevin Holmes. Thanks for watching.